The story of J.O.P., Jesus Ortiz Paz, and Fuerza Regida. Fuerza Regida started in the neighborhoods of San Bernardino, California, where streets, struggle, and music collided. Today, J.O.P. and Fuerza Regida are amongst the biggest names in regional Mexican music. In this video, we'll explore how J.O.P.'s family roots, early passions, and hustle built the foundation. We'll trace how Fuerza Regida rose from the backyard shows to arena tours, launched Street Mob Records, and now commands major collaborations and community influence. Inicios in San Bernardino and family roots. Jesus Ortiz Paz was born on May 13, 1997. While some sources claim he was born in Sinaloa, Mexico before moving to California, his musical and personal identity has been grounded in the Inland Empire. J.O.P. has publicly spoken about his father, who has worked in construction for over 35 years, still doing it by choice. His mother remains more private in public record. Growing up in San Bernardino, J.O.P. witnessed the grind, families working blue-collar jobs, community challenges, while also rich cultural life. In interviews, he has expressed how his upbringing shaped his worldview and lyrical content. Stories of resilience, ambition, identity, and life between two worlds, Mexico and the US. From a young age, J.O.P. was drawn to music. He grew up listening to norteño, corridos, classic Mexican regional sounds in his home and community. These influences laid the emotional and cultural foundation for his later style. As a kid, he wasn't chasing fame. He was observing, listening, and absorbing. He watched local musicians, rhythms, and expression around him, and he began quietly building his own musical identity. Musical discovery. J.O.P. did not grow up in a polished studio, but he had the curiosity. He experimented informally, jamming with friends, learning melody by ear, and writing lyrics. In interviews, J.O.P. described himself as a lifelong creative than just a performer. He says he was a businessman before an artist, meaning from early on he thought about music, image, and brand would work together. He soaked up the culture of local flyer parties, backyard gatherings, underground shows, and local tocadas, where bands or musicians would play for neighbors or posted audiences. These small-scale performances were his training ground. These experiences shaped his stage presence, his approach to connecting with fans, and his understanding of how to build buzz from grassroots. Between live experiments and online sharing, J.O.P. and his collaborators began to see a path forward. The formation of Fuerza Regida, an early breakthrough. In 2015 in San Bernardino, J.O.P. joined forces with Samuel Jaimes, Christian Ramos, and Jose Pelon Garcia to form Fuerza Regida. Their mission was clear: take the traditions of corridos and regional Mexican music, but infuse them with authenticity, street edge, and modern sensibilities. At first, the band played covers at local events, building grassroots momentum. In 2017, they created a YouTube channel, uploading covers and their own songs to expand their reach. Their first spark came at Radicamos in South Central, 2018. Though modest at first, it struck a chord. Its blend of corridos and street sensibility stood out. That track caught the attention of Ramon Ruiz of Legado 7, who reached out to J.O.P. and offered to sign them under Lumbre Music. By mid-2018, they released En Vivo Puros Corridos, a live album featuring songs like Radicamos in South Central Soy Montero and Dos Plumas. That album helped them cross over to more serious attention. In February of 2019, they dropped an EP, Las Románticas Favoritas de Fuerza Regida, which charted at number 19 on Billboard Regional Mexican Albums, at their first chart entry in the US. Then in July of 2019, they unleashed their debut studio album, Del Barrio Hasta Aquí, which peaked number 1 on Regional Mexican Albums and entered top 10 on top Latin albums. This period was their proving ground, building consistency, refining their sound, and cultivating a fan base. Fuerza Regida's trajectory involved evolving label relationships. Over time, they have been associated with Lumbre Music, Rancho Humilde, their own label Street Mob, and Sony Latin. A turning point, their deal structure often includes Street Mob Records, their own independent imprint, in joint ventures with Rancho Humilde, and distribution via Sony Music Latin. This gives them creative control and industry reach. Their creative direction and marketing remain heavily led from within the team. JOP often oversees artistic decisions. In a 2025 interview, Billboard showed them walking through Street Mob Records headquarters, revealing how integral the label side is to their identity. In 2022, they released Pa Que Hablen in partnership with Sony Latin via Rancho Humilde. The album was initially conceived as 26 tracks, but was split into Pa Que Hablen and Sigan Hablando, each 13 tracks, for strategic release. That year, both albums debuted in the top 10 of Latin charts, reflecting the group's growing commercial influence. In more recent years, they have increasingly experimented with the genre fusion, merging corridos with EDM, Jersey Club, house, drill, reggaeton, often branded as Jersey Corridos. This evolution expanded their sound and broadened their audience. As the group matured, their hit output grew. Some of their most prominent tracks include Bebé Dame with Grupo Frontera. This song broke into the Billboard Hot 100, making it one of their first major crossover successes. CH y La Pizza also gained stronger streaming numbers and cross-border buzz. Harley Quinn with Marshmello, a bold fusion track combining Latin and EDM elements. And El Jefe with Shakira, a signature moment because it's Shakira's first foray into regional Mexican music. Their albums consistently chart high. They've released 9 studio albums up to 2025. Del Barrio Hasta Aquí, Adicto, Otro Pedo, Otro Mundo, Del Barrio Hasta Aquí, Volumen 2, Pa Que Hablen, Sigan Hablando, Pa Las Babies y Beliqueada, Pero No Te Enamores, and the most recent one, Expantia, 2025. Many of which peaked top 10 on the US Regional Mexican Albums chart. Pero No Te Enamores was especially ambitious, debuted at number 25 on the Billboard 200 and number 2 on the top Latin albums, making it one of their strongest entries. In awards, the group has earned Billboard Music Awards, Billboard Latin Music Awards, and a Latin American Music Award. Their productivity is also remarkable. Over recent years, they released multiple albums in a single year and maintained a rigorous touring schedule, sometimes 80 to 100 shows a year. Their secret sauce: relentless output, smart collaborations, and staying true to their voice. Street Mob Records and business vision. In 2019, JOP founded his own label, Street Mob Records. His vision Support emerging artists from similar backgrounds, maintain creative control, and merge artists and executive roles. Street Mob's roster includes Calle 24, Chino Pacas, Clave Especial, Miguel Armenta, and others. JOP has often said that his goal is to raise up new voices, artists who speak from the street, who carry regional identity forward. In interviews, JOP describes his workdays as intense: 14-hour sessions, mixing creative direction, business meetings, label decisions, and music strategy. Street Mob functions as the creative nucleus, while distribution and infrastructure are handled via partnerships with Sony Latin. The core branding, marketing, and creative path remain in-house. One tragic but telling story in 2023, Chuy Montana, a young artist discovered and signed via Street Mob, was murdered in early 2024. His posthumous album included features with Fuerza Regida, Calle 24, and Clave Especial. COVID, touring, and resilience. When COVID-19 hit in 2020, the music industry went silent. Tours were cancelled globally, but Fuerza Regida adapted. They released Adicto during this period, doubling down on studio work and online engagement. They participated in social and cultural initiatives such as Cuenta Conmigo with Los Tigres del Norte, Ana Bárbara, and Natanael Cano, encouraging civic participation among Spanish-speaking communities. Once restrictions eased, they resumed touring aggressively. In 2022, they launched Del Barrio Hasta Aquí Tour. In 2023, Otra Peda Tour. In 2024, Pero No Te Enamores Tour. One major highlight, performance at the Madison Square Garden, a signal that regional Mexican music could headline the world's biggest stages. They also executed creative promotions. Pero No Te Enamores, they held free listening pop-up parties, a flash event in Santa Monica to engage fans and build anticipation. Their ability to bounce back, stay prolific, and adapt is a key part of their success. Community legacy and giving back. Despite their heightened fame, JOP and his team maintain commitment to the communities that raised them. In 2025, during the Southern California wildfires, they rented an entire hotel to shelter displaced victims. They've supported small businesses, and in 2023, they donated $20,000 to an inclusive action for the city to support legalizing street vending in Los Angeles. The Los Angeles City Council officially declared Fuerza Regida Day on February 28, 2023, recognizing their cultural impact and community influence. Their creative projects also often highlight social themes: identity, struggle, pride, migration, making their work resonate beyond entertainment. JOP's vision is that their success should help create opportunities for others. New voices, new stories, new artists, especially those from the barrios and marginalized communities. From the streets of San Bernardino to the stages around the globe, JOP's journey is proof that heavy roots, relentless drive, and authenticity can change music's trajectory. He built Fuerza Regida not just as a band, but as a movement.